Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Today is both a happy and a sad day, and that is because it is the last night of Ramadan, and tomorrow, inshallah, is Eid. Taqabbalallah minna wa minkum. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our deeds that we have put forward this month and allow us to learn from all of the different characteristics and different characters and different companions that we had spoken about this past month. Today, inshallah, is the last companion we'll be discussing and talking about, and that is Malik ibn Sinan. And some of you might be like, well, I'm not really familiar with that individual. Which companion is that, radiallahu an? He is actually very famously the father of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. So here we have Malik ibn Sinan. He actually didn't get to participate in the Battle of Badr, and he told the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, had I known that this battle was to happen, I would have partook in it. Also at the Battle of Uhud, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam was taking advice from different companions, and he was one of those companions who actually advised the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, saying that we should not fight inside the city, we should go fight outside the city. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam took his advice. And we will find that this companion, the Sahabi al-Jadid, he was actually one of the most protective companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he did not want to see him get hurt. And sometimes we find that protective characteristic to be a bit overbearing, but we don't find him sallallahu alaihi wasallam even looking down at this characteristic, especially when this great companion Malik, he was protecting the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So what happened is when the fighting had gotten really intense, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he actually lost his tooth and he was bleeding, and Malik, he went over to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he wiped his mouth, and some of the blood was in his hand. He took the blood, he actually put it in his mouth, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "What are you doing?" He said that I will not let another drop of blood fall. And the Prophet ﷺ, he turned to him and he said that whoever's blood mixes with my blood, then the fire will be prohibited for him. And then Malik radiallahu anh, he went out and he was actually one of the individuals who was martyred. So having that protective nature, that zeal that was inspired in him radiallahu an, because of what had happened to his beloved messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it pushed him and allowed him to be martyred. And this is, like we said, this is the last companion that we will discuss. There are actually a few more who were promised paradise, but because of the limited days, inshallah, and the limited time, we weren't able to complete them. But maybe in the future, inshallah, we'll talk about them. But I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to close this month in a blessed way and to give us all a blessed Eid. Ameen.